Hello and welcome to the cryptocurrency news channel. Well, there's been yet another massive crypto heist. Yeah, these are getting to be more and more commonplace, which is not good, no bueno at all. And this one was for $182 million by Beanstalk. Now, the thing is, like, there's a couple of theories for this that I have. One is obviously these guys just have really, really, really bad security. Two is it's inside job. And three, we're going to talk about maybe there's some government sponsored crypto hacking because they want excuses for tighter regulations. And if they can actually prove that all these cryptos have so many breaches, and they actually need regulating, they can actually get much tighter regulations, which is exactly what they want. Maybe they want to KYC, AML, everything. So when these hackers actually steal these funds, they know exactly who they actually are. But they were robbed of 102 million, $82 million. Now the thing is, like, these crypto heists are way worth way more money than actual bank heists. Actual bank heists, you maybe get a couple hundred thousand, maybe a couple $1 million stolen because you only can carry so much cash. These crypto heists, because they're all digital and you don't need to carry a physical load of crap out of there, you can steal hundreds of millions of dollars within a click. So they're actually a lot more serious than the physical bank heists. Barring the part with, like physical bank heists, sometimes they like shoot people and stuff. But in terms of the amount of money stolen, these crypto heists are basically a lot more serious. Now, the first option is their security just sucks. Like, a lot of times the governance system, they have like smart contracts that are exploitable. Now, that's entirely understandable because I think a lot of these like crypto developers are actually noobs. I don't think they're all elite developers. I think they're just in it to make some quick money. And because they are in it to just make some quick money, they probably are basically doing a slapstick job of these smart contracts. And there's many areas, especially on bridges, where these smart contracts are actually exploitable. So they could just be that the security is weak. That's a very possible option. The second option is, well, they're actually the people or like the second option is like the companies themselves are actually leaving back doors to get people they've actually hired to hack to pour some of this money out, and then they're splitting the cost. Now, this has been basically a speculation for many of these hacks. There's not that much backing these allegations, obviously. It's very hard to actually get information on these rug pulls, but I think there has been one or two where it's actually been confirmed. I think it's very possible because, if you're the one developing it and you've basically contacted someone to steal the money and split it, then basically they can just exploit it from the backside with a small hole that you left open. And no one would actually know about this hole before you. Even for auditors, you could actually kind of hide the exploit. And sometimes maybe even the auditors are actually in on it too. That's definitely a very well-known possibility that can actually lead to a lot of money being exploited. Because the thing is, like, if you actually contact and have this set up, and you basically split the money, you can actually mask this exploit for some time while you actually cash this money, while like the other party cashes this money out, and you actually split it. Obviously, you have to trust the other party, but if it's like tens of millions of dollars actually involved, then it's easy to see where the party that's actually like holding the project up and the exploiters actually have a deal, both of them to get tens of millions of dollars. And like I said, you could actually hide the exploit for some amount of time while they do have some time to actually cash out. So that's a very possible possibility. Now, the third option is way more sinister. Like, the government wants regulations. The government's actually not interested in making like, 10, $20 million or even $100 million. Like, the government's budget is way over that. They're not interested in that kind of money. But they are interested in making tighter regulations, especially on the KYC AML side, banning some things, protecting certain industries, and basically like getting much more tax revenue from crypto as a whole. That can be worth a lot more than 10 or $20 million. That could be worth hundreds of billions of dollars if they can get that implemented. So they actually like have professional hackers designed as black hat hackers, essentially exploit these fairly exploitable systems, because a lot of them probably do have bugs. And basically, after they exploit them, they never get caught because they're the government's hirees in the first place, or they get some scapegoat to take the fall for them while they cover themselves up. Now, I don't think this is very, very likely, but it's not entirely impossible that this theory holds true. Because, for the SEC, the CFTC, and a lot of these other agencies to justify implementing some of these draconian KYC AML measures, they have to be able to point to security breaches and breaches of law. So they could actually hire their own players, and we would actually never figure this out. They could hire their own players to hack into these systems and steal hundreds of millions of dollars. Of course, a lot of it does get returned, but they're probably getting a pretty hefty sum from the government anyways to actually do this and cover it up. So the government has reason to actually levy these really harsh regulations on the crypto industry. Now, they're not good for the industry, but it's very good for the IRS and the government, especially for purposes of tax revenue. Like, you realize right now that the government is not actually trying to squash crypto. They're not really trying to ban crypto in the United States. They're just trying to tax it and regulate it in that way so they can make a lot of money from it. And it's getting harder and harder for people to actually go around these rules because they're just tightening the noose more and more. So that's kind of like my theory on it. Like the third option, that the government is actually hiring their own hackers to exploit these crypto companies for, tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, not because they're interested in the money themselves. They have way bigger fish than that, but because they want regulations that can possibly bring them in hundreds of billions of dollars from the industry. So those are the three options. I think the last one with the government is the most interesting one. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button, and I will see you guys next time.